An MP has said that she was bombarded with death and rape threats after speaking out against the controversial social media influencer Andrew Tate. Alex Davies-Jones, the Labour MP for Pontypridd, said she received the abuse into her email and her office. Well, Andrew Tate, who's amassed millions of followers for his divisive content, has been detained in Romania as part of human trafficking and rape investigations. He denies the allegations against him. But let's talk more about the influence he has had on boys and young men in particular with Gershom Clarke from the charity Onside. It supports young people through youth work across the UK. Thanks very much for being with us. And do you think people like Andrew Tate have a big influence in your experience on young men and boys?
I think with young men and young people generally, I think where they access information is the thing that leads to influence. So for people like Andrew Tate and other people that use the social media platforms, Onside done a survey last year where 3/4 of young people are spending a lot of their time on screens. We definitely know that Andrew Tate uses the platforms of social media where young people access this information. I think what's important in youth work is that we're relevant and current. We understand that young people will have access to this information. But the key kind of unique selling point for us is that young people have an opportunity to engage with trusted adults in real life time. And we can use some of these topics to encourage healthy debate and also create a safe space where young people kind of share their views and concerns and kind of their thoughts about, topics that are in the mainstream media or kind of in their current lives.
So when you have these discussions and these debates, do you try to guide people through the discussions and talk about the views of people like Andrew Tate, which of course many people around the world find completely hateful and misogynistic and so on?
Yeah, and I think that word guide is quite important because it's important that we've got those trusted, skilled adults and professionals that young people are engaging with. So you can kind of create that safe space to guide young people to have those discussions and eventually make their own informed choices. And the difference with young people engaging on screens and social media is you don't have that extra level of engagement with a person. It's only just the information that's presented and the actual device.
People like Andrew Tate push this sort of creed of masculinity, if you like, which some people do find attractive. But I was listening to a debate the other day where actually people were saying there's nothing wrong with masculinity per se. It's when it sometimes veers into misogyny, really, and it's a difficult line to tread. Do you find that when you're talking to boys and young men?
I think what we find is the topics that the young people at the time feel that they want to relate to. I know when we had a debate here at the Youth Zone over here in Future in Barking and Dagenham, it wasn't really about do you like Andrew Tate or you don't like him. It's more about some of the things that you can justify and reasons as to why you might, think Andrew Tate's okay or not, rather than the person as a whole. So a lot of young people can probably associate with, wealth, working hard, wanting to aspire to kind of having luxury lifestyle, but then probably are against the other views around, hatred towards young women and how they're kind of treated. And that was kind of the general consensus that we got, not just from young boys, but also from girls or even young people who don't identify with any of those genders.
Good to talk to you. Very interesting, actually. Gershom Clarke from the charity Onside, supporting young people. Thank you very much for your time. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.